This year marks the 35th anniversary of the BHA Development Programme, which gives people an opportunity for a career in racing. Those on it have 2 weeks in Newmarket learning all about the industry before going on an 8-week placement. Today I'm here at Bath Racecourse looking at those that have had their placement through Star Sports. Ben Hicks is a former jockey and is now the clerk of the racecourse here. Ben rode 10 winners as a jockey, but when COVID hit, decided that he wanted a career change. In 2021, he went on the BHA programme, which has led him to his role now.
After the 2-week course, I joined Star Sports for my work placement, which was my number one choice on the list of the 20 sponsors. So I was delighted to get that opportunity, and I got obviously the overview of the whole sort of type of each area of the business, especially the on-course side of it, which was my favourite bit. It was great fun going to Ascot, Goodwood and Cheltenham for those big meetings and seeing how it all works. It's a really good buzz and keeps you on your feet because you're always very busy days like that. So I think then from that course I came back home and was just looking around the types of job maybe available, and because I learnt plenty from my work placement as well as the sort of hands-on side in the racing game itself from riding. It was helpful because I sort of felt I could apply new skills to another job and use what I'd already learned experience-wise and connections I'd made in the horse racing industry already. Every day at Bath we sort of work back from the race day itself, so when entries come out prior to the race day, we then update the ground each day in the mornings for the trainers. We're monitoring weather conditions. Obviously Bath's unique in the fact that we can't irrigate the track to change the going. So for a lot of track work we're quite reliant on rainfall, and we work around the weather with our track maintenance, sort of aeration and fertiliser application, etc. So day to day, I'd walk the track every morning, keep an eye on the entries, declarations 48 hours before. Obviously the grounds team are there prepping the track and the site for the race day itself. There's always race planning upcoming as well for future fixtures, so there's plenty to keep busy with.
Today I've come to Caterham in Surrey to speak to Amberley Sharp, who completed the programme last year.
So I currently work as Events and Operations Executive at the Jockey Club for Epsom Downs Racecourse. So that's dealing with anything from a conference point of view to Betfred Derby to our normal summer nights racing. Now that I've done 5 months at the Jockey Club, I'd say that racing's my favourite part of the job. That's always what I've sort of set out to do with my career path. The thrill of it and sort of meeting people, like we have the gallops morning, so you get to mix with the people that you want to be mixing with. And that bit's quite exciting. Like you could have anyone in the office at any point and you never know who you're going to rub shoulders with on that day, and I quite like the thrill of that bit.
And how did the BHA scheme come about and how did you find it?
So I studied international horse racing at Hartpury. It then came to my dissertation where I took on the effects of the gambling reform on horse racing, on British horse racing stakeholders. So taking that on then led me to realise that actually the gambling and the betting industry was something that I was interested in. When that came to a finish, I then looked at jobs and I was sort of searching and the BHA programme popped up. Never something that I thought I'd get on in a million years. Applied, managed to get an interview and then got onto it. And that's where I got my placement with Star Sports. And honestly, I think that was the best summer of my life. Meeting the people that we met and even the friends that we've met and made along the way. We're all still friends, we all still chit chat, and it's so nice actually to see them out on course.
The last place on my travels is to Wokingham to meet Cameron Brown, who 6 years after completing his placement still works closely with Star Sports.
I work for a company called Square in the Air, a PR marketing agency, deal with sports and betting, and I'm an account manager, so social media, influencers, paid media. I was at university, UCFB, a relatively new university at the time. I think it was only there 3 years before I joined. Didn't really know what I wanted to do. I just know I wanted to go in sport at the time. And then one of my lecturers, Paul Brewster, who still works there, suggested the BHA scheme. I wouldn't be here without the BHA scheme. Like, everything sort of had a knock-on effect since. So I was with Star, obviously, on their 8-week placement. I've done loads of fun stuff on there. Off the back of that, I was just doing a bit of on-course work. Shortly after that, Square in the Air called me up, who Star are one of their clients, still are, for the 6 years I've been there. It's brilliant what I do. I essentially get paid to talk about sport.
Finally, I'm talking to Lewis Williams, who still works for Star Sports, doing something slightly different.
I got into the scheme just through looking online in horse racing. My dad is a massive horse racing fan, and I kind of learned the sport from him. And then I found that the scheme, it kind of existed online about 2 or 3 years before I even applied. And I was kind of waiting until my last year of university that I could finally apply. And luckily, I applied and I went to the interview in April. And luckily, I got it. I couldn't believe it when I got the email, to be totally honest. I just couldn't believe it. So that's how I got into the scheme. And then, the 2 weeks in Newmarket were the kind of best 2 weeks of my life. And I remember, funnily enough, getting in my car on the Friday of the Newmarket July Festival. And I was just absolutely devastated that it was over. I was absolutely gutted. But the 2 weeks are just unbelievable. The people that you meet, the places that you go, the things you learn, and kind of the wisdom that you inherit, for want of a better word, is just second to none. And then my company that I was with was obviously Star Sports. And so I went down to Hove and did a couple of weeks in the trading room at first. And it's very varied placement at Star Sports. So you kind of experience all areas of the business, a couple of weeks in the trading room. And then I did a couple of weeks in marketing as well. That was at the time of the Brighton Festival that Star Sports sponsor. And then I did a couple of weeks on course as well.
So you obviously liked Star Sports and the placement a lot because you now work for them full time. Can you describe what you do for them now?
Yeah, so I used to work in the website department kind of remotely for a little while. And then I saw the opportunity to kind of run a racetrack effectively. Star Sports ended up buying Pelaw Grange, which was a dog track at the time in the northeast. And I saw the opportunity come and to run this place and kind of learn more hands-on how to run a business. I was always kind of wanting to learn this kind of things and how to run a business, how to be a leader, how to be a manager. And then this opportunity came up to move up here. And every day is different here. Every day is different. So I would definitely recommend the scheme to other people. Absolutely. It's just such a simple pathway, and the people that are involved in the recruitment process make it so easy for you to just jump in. And the biggest advice that I would give to anyone who's interested in gambling or horse racing or anything like that is to just say yes and apply for it, and it will change your life like it did to me.
The 2025 British Horse Racing Development Programme will mark the 35th running. A total of 18 successful applicants have been assigned placements across the sport, and Star Sports is proud to sponsor one once again. As we've seen, it's been a springboard to successful careers across the industry. We're all excited to welcome the 2025 intake and watch their careers grow.